welcome to MF Insight, where we bring you perspectives, deep dive conversations from the heart of mutual fund industry. I am your host Rahul Sethi. Joining us today is Soumendu Ganguly. So Soumendu joined CAMS about almost 9 years ago. He joined as a product leader where he started product management group at CAMS. Today he drives product strategy and operations as the chief operating officer at CAMS. Today we have a very interesting topic where we are going to discuss as the industry moves towards 100 trillion, how are we geared up from technology, infrastructure and operations and backend. We'll have that discussion with Soumendu.
Sure.
So Soumendu, Amphi report which came out recently in May journey to 100 trillion, we already are looking at 80 trillion in the AUM, which is supported by more than 27 crore folios and a rapidly expanding investor base. Right, so these are incredible scale numbers, definitely.
Yeah.
But from where you sit now, how do you translate these at the back end? And what does the scale actually mean to you?
See, it's a very interesting question, because I'll tell you that what a lot of people don't realize, right, is how mutual funds are structured. Mm-hmm. Mutual funds are not really your real-time products, right? So what happens is your NAV comes only once a day.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens is all transactions that are flowing through millions of portals, people coming and pushing purchases and redemptions and all of that gets batched.
Okay.
All of that is ready, but waiting for the NAV to come, right? Which comes generally at between 10 and 11:30 in the night.
Okay.
Right. And the first money that hits investor's account hits at around starting from 6 o'clock to 6:30 in the morning.
Okay.
So what the RTAs have, or this industry has, is somewhere around 6 to 7 hours to process any number of transactions.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
And in that 6 to 7 hours, if you look at the last 10 years, right, the regulations have increased. SEBI has increasingly said and gone in favor of saying that you should verify every information from source, right?
Okay.
Which means integrating a lot many more third-party API sources. So you verify name with NSDL, the PAN database, verify your bank account directly with banks, we verify KYC data directly with KRAs. So the dependence on third-party applications has increased.
So this is done at transaction level?
This is done at transaction level.
Okay.
So every transaction, depending on the transaction type, can go through anywhere between 180, 200 to somewhere close to 600 verifications.
Wow.
Right? And we have to make sure that we do those verifications for every transaction.
Within 6 hours?
Within 6 hours.
Okay.
And for somebody like CAMS, we process somewhere close to 1 crore plus transactions on our peak days.
Wow.
So for 1 crore transactions, we are verifying all of them for regulation. Then we figure out whether the money has come or not. I match the transaction with the credit information. I verify your account details are correct or not. And then I process.
Yeah.
I allocate units. I figure out your contact details are your contact details. And then I send you communication. I send you an SMS that tells you that the money has hit your account.
Yeah.
Right? And I generate account statements. And I generate that for 1 crore people.
Yeah.
So at the back end, this includes a massive web of parallelly processing applications. And what we have done over the last 8 to 10 years is invested massively to make sure that we are ready for this scale, right? And so today you would see that as regulations become more complex and the transaction volumes are increasing like cumulatively, right? We are still able to deliver all of that with more and more precision.
And almost zero error.
You look at the complaint rates at MF as an industry, right?
Yeah.
We have 0.002% of the transactions have any complaints corresponding to
How
them.
many is that part per million?
It is around 0.2 ppm. Yeah.
Wow.
0.2 ppm.
And probably this is the best in class.
This is best in class. This is best in the financial
any
industry, right? You have seen that almost you mentioned, right, that the industry is at 80 lakh crore, about to reach 100 lakh crore. We do not, and I keep my fingers crossed, but we do not have even 10 frauds in this industry.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
infrastructure, all the standards,
process and
the
standards
processes,
checks in place.
they're watertight.
Wow.
They're watertight,
Yeah.
and running a process which is watertight is at this scale. Has been an amazing journey.
Yeah, clearly. So when you look at this scale, what really enables the mutual fund ecosystem to function seamlessly without disruption during exponential volume or volatility in flows and outflows?
See, I think the mutual fund industry came together and made a very fundamental decision. They decided that the entire backbone of processing in this industry would be with the RTAs, right? This is a very unique model that we have in India.
Yeah.
And very unique model even in financial services domain, right?
Yeah.
Because you look at any of the banks, or if you look at insurance,
Yeah.
none of the players pool all of their transactions and let somebody else verify
Manage
and
it,
process
yeah.
all of that, right? So what mutual fund industry did is that it kind of co-invested, not from a monetary point of view, but from a system design point of view.
Yeah.
They kind of co-worked with the RTAs
Yeah.
to create systems at RTA's end. And what that led to is subsequently, when the scale increased, when the complexity increased, and when the regulations changed, right, there were only two RTAs where all of these changes had to happen. So from a regulator's point of view, there was a lot of control and comfort that they don't have to manage, let's say, 50 mutual funds and their systems and all of that. They only have to look at two RTAs and the systems that they are following.
Plus gives so much of synergy,
Yeah.
The benefit of scale and all those
Absolutely.
things.
See, what happened, and look at us, right? One of the, at one point, we were processing close to 10 lakh physical transactions every month, right? But we also did a study where we figured out that any investor who is new to a AMC, a mutual fund company, in 60% of the cases is known to CAMS, right? So we run our analytics to make sure that when such an investor is coming into a AMC as a new investor, at the back end, I have the guardrails to ensure that I am processing everything correctly for that new investor, right? So all of that can happen only because the processing is happening at a central place.
Centralized,
right?
The backend is centralized,
Correct.
the database is...
Correct.
Yeah.
And also when any new regulation comes, the implementation of the regulation, the audit of the regulation, all of that happens centrally. And third, I think what has really worked beautifully, right, is how the learnings of one mutual fund has gotten applied to the other mutual funds, right? So there's a lot of this cross-pollination of ideas, cross-learning, not only from a business point of view, because business is still every mutual fund company's own domain, but at least from a risk point of view, from a process point of view, all of that has led to the ecosystem becoming more robust.
More strong, yes.
Yeah, and that's why I think at this scale also, it's running beautifully.
Exactly. So when you compare this to, let's say, 5 years ago, what has fundamentally changed in the way infrastructure is built and operated today?
Again, it's a very interesting question, Rahul, because I'll tell you, close to 10 years back, right, when I joined, this industry was 50% physical, paper, and 50% of the transactions have started coming digitally. Today, more than 90% of the transactions are digital, right? So what we have seen is, be it in industry forums where CAMS is a very, is part of multiple committees, be it regulator, or be it in our own internal conversations, I think industry has shifted to digital first, right? Today, when we build a new system at CAMS, the process design starts with building it first for digital. Right? How do we make sure that we are removing friction points? How can I make sure that I don't introduce a physical touch point which will lead to verification and delays and stuff like that? And I'll give you this one example that we were working with AMFI. to come up with a digital process for minor retaining major. It was a decently complex process, right? The industry actually came together and worked with us to create a process which is completely digital, right? Uh, Earlier, I would say 2016 or 2018 types, right? When we would, so CAMS was the first company uh, which allowed for change of bank, which is a very, very sensitive process in mutual fund industry, to be completely digital. And we have developed our own OCR models, which would read the information from the check, verify it, and let you change your bank details if all the details are correct, right? At that time, I think there were maybe 3 or 4 AMCs who adopted that process. But today, when CAMS comes up with a completely digital process for anything, right? Most of the AMCs are willing to adopt it. Most of the AMCs reach out to us saying that, hey, Soumendu, if we are doing this way, can you help us come up with a zero touch point, zero friction, completely digital process, right? And we work with AMCs to design a lot of such processes. So I think fundamentally what has shifted is everybody in the ecosystem today thinks of digital first. The second large shift that has happened is, I think, it's a very India-specific thing, right? So I was looking at some studies that happen in US, right? And in one of those studies, it talks about how the investor returns, right, is generally lower than scheme returns. Because investors get in and get out at maybe not the best and most favorable times, right? But when we are looking at this data for India, right, India numbers are very different. India, most of the people are almost getting closer to the scheme returns, and that is driven by SIP, right? So SIP has been a fundamental differentiator in how India invests in mutual funds. What that also does, thus is, and I don't say it in a negative way, but it puts a massive load on our systems, because what has happened is
it scatters the investments.
The ticket sizes come down, and the number of transactions that we have to process and we have to verify puts a lot of load. But we have seen that SIP has been a singular mechanism of putting investments in our country.
Exactly.
And over a period of time, we have built the really intelligent systems where the number of SIPs, the rejections out of them, the bounces out of them, and sorry, I'm just digressing a little, but when SIPs started, right, we used to get so many questions from people, right, who used to ask that whether my installment has come, when my units will come, and all of that. So we implemented a lot of changes to make sure that investor anxiety around SIPs just completely goes away, right? And they believe that if I have invested and if I've done the SIP once, it will happen, right? So from an industry trend point of view, because of SIPs and because of this averaging of entry points, I think AMCs realized that service is a very strong differentiator, right? And then a lot of innovation has happened around servicing. So we came up with what we call smart account statement. We came up with a lot of digital processes for NFTs. We were the first RTA to launch T+1 servicing across all my mutual funds, right? So we said that if you are giving a request today, more than 95% of the cases, I will finish it by tomorrow, right? So I think that the industry realized that servicing will be a key differentiator, and then we innovated a lot around that as well.
Got it. So in fact, my next question, you covered part of it in this one itself. So when today investors expect near instant transactions and a seamless digital journey, how does the backend infra translate into that smooth experience across platforms? for an investor today?
So it's again an interesting question, and I'll tell you why. I'll just give you a number first. Last year, CAMS processed 5 billion API hits, right?
Wow.
And this year will be higher. Why that happens? Because the RTA is the true source of information, right?
Yeah.
So if you are a front end who is trying to get an investor showing something, if your information differs from what the RTA's information is, the processing will happen basis RTA's data, right? So let's say you are an investor who has gone on Grow,
Yeah.
and you want to give a redemption,
Yeah.
and you see that your bank account is verified on Grow, but not verified on RTA,
RTA.
Your redemption will not come next day. It will go through a next verification process.
Okay.
Right? So what as an RTA we did, we understood that they should not create pain for the ecosystem, and we created APIs for everything. As long as you are coming from a verified, validated source, you can ping my data to check whether it is in sync with yours or not, and thus make sure that at the time of entry itself, the investor has the right information to process the transaction.
Got it.
See, a lot of these innovations, Rahul, is what has led to this 0.002%
plus the customer experience, right?
Plus the customer experience, right?
Exactly.
Today, this industry, we process more than 90% plus transmissions within T+5. There is no other financial service industry in this country who does that, right? As I mentioned, you send an email to a bank and send an email to a mutual fund company from the same group. You will see the mutual fund company responding faster. Right? So a lot of these service innovations have actually created that belief that mutual fund sahi hai.
Sahi
hai. I think that while that was a great slogan that FE came up with,
but there has to be reasons to believe, right?
There has to be reason to believe. And I think we have deeply invested to make sure that the investors have the reason to believe that mutual funds sahi hai.
Exactly. So my last question, right? As we move towards 100 trillion AUM, right? That's a big number. What new capability or shift will define the next phase of growth for the ecosystem according to you?
I think one thing that will play out, we are all hearing about AI and the surge of AI and the surge of agents and all of that. I think one thing that will play out is who is able to handle and predict behavior better. I think that's going to play out in financial industry very, very strongly. From our point of view, if I look at it, our ability to figure out, right, that which investor needs what service and delivering it at that point of consumption is what is going to create delight. So we are working on models which will practically look at your past data, past behavior, and tell me that while you are consuming this service, what is the other service you are likely to consume, right? So we are working on building such models which will predict your behavior. The other thing I think mutual fund as an industry will see more and more is some sort of advisory, right? Because you look at this industry, India has close to 80 crore people who have bank accounts, right? The SIM card penetration is very high, internet penetration is very high, but mutual fund industry has close to 6 crore investors, right? This number is going to go up. This number is going to go up, and a lot of those people will need services around advisory. Again, I think there is a great opportunity where there's something like AI can help you figure out which are the right times to invest, right places to invest, how long you should stay back. Those are the two trends that I believe will play out over the next 2-3 years for sure. Talking about 5 years in today's time and world may not be right because the trends are changing so fast. Trends are changing so fast. But I think over the next 2 years at least, AI and the predictability, the predictive behavior, and advisory at scale are the next set of big trends that can play out.
Got it. Thanks, Soumendu. It was a pleasure to host you for this episode and was a great insightful discussion.
Thanks, Rahul. Thanks for having me.
So here's a wrap, guys. So we close our MF Insight episode here and look forward for you joining us in the next episode. Thank you.